Hello again, Scorpio. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards, one from Lay Vampire and one from Chakra Wisdom. And once again, you have pulled Hunter, which I really like for Scorpio. Hunter is aggressor, tracker, provider. This card is saying that it's time to look at how you are going to obtain what it is that you want. This is a time to start seeking out the things that you want, not waiting. And then when you look at that with growth from Chakra Wisdom, it says a lot about how you're looking at the things that you're going after now. So growth is saying to ask yourself, what have you outgrown? What things are you chasing here that you have outgrown? And it's like you're learning from your experience. So this also talks about it may be a time for a change of scenery, and maybe you need to visit a foreign country. And then also it talks about taking a stand and living your own truth. And again, more importantly, it's about growing. So, I feel like here you guys are hunting down something a little bit different in your lives, especially after the hard readings that we've had the last couple weeks. This is kind of nice to see. It's a change. And I really feel like with growth and Hunter, some of you might be seeking out a change of scenery, something new. But I do like the both of them. Okay, Scorpio, here is the energy coming through. So the Six of Pentacles, this is about being open to giving and receiving. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to mean monetary wealth. And I always make sure that people understand that, because the Pentacles has to do with what we have in our physical world, our wealth, the things that we own, the things that we have. But the message behind that card is being open to giving and receiving. And this could mean advice, a shoulder to cry on, information. So right now there's this feeling of needing to stay open and staying open to receiving or even giving. And in the past, the Queen of Swords. Now, usually I see her a lot as describing the feeling of a person, especially when I'm doing my own readings. But with the Queen of Swords, this could suggest an air sign coming through. Now, the Queen of Swords, I love the description behind her. This is a strong and independent person. This is somebody who understands life experiences through past pain. They're open, but that sword is still up, ready to strike. This could suggest somebody who is focused on the pain of past experiences as well. Now, definitely after the last couple of readings that we've had, this could be the feeling coming out of that, for sure. But something is telling me that this is another person. And again, this could be somebody with air in their chart. Present conditions, judgment. It seems to be continuous. Judgment and justice. Judgment. Judgment is all about hearing the call and rising up and reviewing your past with joy rather than regret. This is where you are reviewing the things that you have done. And again, the whole point with judgment is to be okay with the past moving forward. When you look at the sequence in tarot between judgment and then into the world and back into the Fool, the whole thing talks about reincarnation. This is going again, but needing to deal with issues from the past. Now, when you look at that with the Queen of Swords, yes, this could definitely suggest a need to stay open to reviewing past events that may have been painful, especially if it has to do with somebody. Yes. Hello, Scorpio. Death. I love death. I love death, not just because of it being the card of Scorpio, but for me, this is so representative of us. Going through that death cycle and rising from the ashes like the phoenix and creating ourselves anew. This is needing to accept the ending of whatever is going on. You have no choice with the Death card. It's one of those cards where you're either fearing it, rejecting it, or accepting it. And you have no choice. You might as well accept it. You're going to go through that death cycle because that is who we are. For me, my Scorpio sun and moon is in my 7th house. My relationships have constantly been through the death and rebirth cycle. I mean, it has been constant my entire life. The older that I've gotten, the better it is. But when you go through this, the most important part is to remember that rebirth. And when you're looking at your past, stay open to having to review painful things because you cannot move forward if you do not deal with them. And death is saying, yes, we have to deal with that so that we can create ourselves anew and start the cycle anew. The best path to follow. Shit. Oh my goodness. The tower. You are definitely going to be going through some heavy changes in your life. I mean, look at them. And that 6 in the middle is saying you have to stay open to this. You have to stay open. If this is your energy coming through from the past, there is a need to review your past and painful things from the past. You are strong and independent. You can do this because you are getting ready to hit that death cycle. And with the tower here, it is saying that you have built on a false foundation. You need to clear out that shit that does not serve you anymore. You cannot hang on to that. It needs to come crashing down. But the beauty with the tower, especially in your best path to follow, is saying that you will have an opportunity here to rebuild something so much better than what you had before. Now, if this is having to do with a person, there is a need to stay open here to seeing things differently. You may have had some painful past events with this person, and there's this need to go through the death cycle and understand that, you got to clear out that shit. It's got to be done. If you are in a painful relationship in the past and it's still kind of lingering for you, remember with the sequence here, when you're starting again, you can't carry those painful memories with you and it needs to come down. But man, big changes, big. And again, that 6 is telling you have to stay open. Don't close yourself off to dealing with this shit because it needs to be dealt with. The influence is around you, and that is beautiful to see. So the 8 of Pentacles to me is saying that you're willing to put in the hard work that's needed to correct whatever issues are going on here. And the 8 of Pentacles, when you look at the image, it's different than the 3. The 3 is like the beginning, but when you look at the 8, he is refining his craftsmanship. And it also speaks about not being so absorbed in your work, but, this is somebody who is enjoying what they're doing and they're seeing the results of what they are doing. And to me, again, looking at all of this, it's saying that you're willing to put in that hard work, which is fantastic to see. You're willing to do what you need to do. It's in your environment. But man, this shit's no joke. Whew. Your hopes and your fears, I love it. The 6 of Swords, and again, it also speaks about needing a change of scenery. You are definitely hunting down something completely different here. And you're growing. I mean, it's so clear. There is some internal and spiritual growth going on here, for sure. And again, with growth, needing to change your scenery. And with the 6 of Swords, yes, that is exactly what is happening. So the Six of Swords is all about moving away from conflict. You're not quite there yet, but you're doing what you need to do to move away from conflicting shit in your life. And look at the sixes. I love it. Man. Heavy changes, heavy changes going on, but looking at that with growth, that to me is a very positive sign. Very positive sign. Once you come out of this death cycle, when you create yourself anew, again, with you carrying that feeling of the Queen of Swords coming through, strong and independent, yes. I like where this is going, but I think that 6 is telling you need to be prepared now. You need to be prepared. But Hunter is like, I almost feel like maybe that's the outcome out of this. That you're back into the swing of Scorpio, hunting down the things that you want. But again, you need to be careful there. You have to make sure that, you ask yourself, what is it that I'm going after? Because again, Scorpio, being ruled by emotions, we have a tendency to go after things based on our emotions. Forget logic. Forget it. It means nothing. If there's no emotion behind it, what's the point? And that is Scorpio, being in the depths of emotion. So with Hunter, whatever you're aggressively tracking down, make sure you look at it first. Don't just chase after it and worry about the consequences later. Not with having to go through all this. But again, growth is saying that yes, you are seeing what you have outgrown and you're chasing something that is on a much deeper and spiritual level. I mean, it's so evident with death, the Tower, judgment. It's scary, but at the same time, I'm seeing a hopeful outcome to all of this. Yeah. Yes. The Ace of Cups as the outcome is fantastic, especially for Scorpio. Emotionally, to me, it says that you're going to be okay through all this heavy shit here. The Ace of Cups. So the Aces are always good opportunities coming through. But in the Ace of Cups, this has to do with new opportunities involving love, romance, new creativities, or new creative thoughts. I love seeing that because to me, it's saying that out of all of this, you are growing internally. You're changing the way that you see things as well. I mean, with the Tower being your best path to follow, it's saying to clear out that junk, the limiting thoughts and beliefs, to get rid of that shit. All those thoughts that stop you when you are trying to move forward. And you're doing just that. You're growing on a spiritual level. I love it. And I like that Queen of Swords came through as the energy because, I question at first if this has to do with another person, but, even if it does for some of you, if you're looking at the past and there may have been a painful relationship with somebody, or even looking at a past relationship and wanting to correct whatever issues happened there, looking at her in the Ace of Cups is telling me that if this is a person involved and you are hunting this down, you have completely changed who you are internally first. And now you're putting in that hard work to move away from that conflict from before. And here's this opportunity showing up again. Now, as your energy coming through, I love it. Strong and independent. You remember the pain, for sure. Scorpio doesn't forget that shit. It just, that's who we are. But here you are, growing. I love this reading. It's very hopeful, especially out of the last two readings and seeing justice and judgment continuously and all these things going on with needing to seek the truth and everything else. And now it's like you are growing in your own personal truth. And there you are. going through that cycle, but doing something so much better than what you have done before. I really like this one. I like this one. I like the feeling that's going on here. Things are changing for Scorpio, and that is fantastic. Now, before we get into this, if this has to do with a person, I feel like you're taking a look at the way the relationship was in the past, and there may have been some pain involved. But there is an opportunity here to start again. But more importantly, I love seeing the Queen come out as your energy coming through, strong and independent, and now you're pulling on that while you're going through this death cycle. And again, it's like you're growing in who you are, in your spirit, who you are internally. Everything is changing, and you're actually stopping to look at the things that you're hunting down, which is fantastic. And here, you're going to get rid of all that shit that does not serve you. And again, I feel like maybe for some of you, you're looking at a change of scenery. Because again, the both of them speak about seeing something different. And again, with the 6, you're moving away from that conflict. You're moving away from those things that limited you before, which is fantastic to see. And then on top of that, you are open to the changes that are happening, and you're willing to put in the work. I love it. I love the way this reading went. I feel like when you come out of this death cycle, you're going to be open to new, beautiful, emotional opportunities coming through you.